started in my head, moved into my heart, soul. Now it's in my hands. My understanding of how
remember being blown away. I am hoping that young kids in Atlanta will see their favorite players and say, yo, what they just did was phenomenal. I want to do that. I think the sport of soccer does something beautiful for people, probably just as much as music. When you follow a particular country, you not only learn about the athletes, but you learn about the people. And I think it expands our world. I think it gets us out of just our own backyard and see other people's spaces. The opportunity for vocation is beautiful for kids in America who want to play sport. I think it's a great unifier. It's a beautiful unifier.
All of us,
especially together,
are better.
Not because we are the same,
but because we are all different.
It's a real boring reality show.
I don't think this is appropriate, Hell.
That's not even a joke.
The show that likes to dunk itself into the news.
Can we just go to an ad break now?
Yeah, so it's time for the last leg.
If you're looking for the future of football, it's gonna be me.
Capaz que no sabes quién soy todavía. Pero pronto lo vas a saber.
Aw, that's cute. I'm gonna be so big. I won't even be able to walk down the street.
The future is already here. Next starts now.
Powerade is the official sports drink of FIFA World Cup. Don't wait to be chosen. Choose to be ready. Powerade, power your fate.
Right, it's a warning light, Phil. Don't brush it off. Have you tried this?
Get targeted relief from pain and inflammation with Voltaren Pain Relief Gel 12 hourly and keep your body running. And new from the makers of Voltaren, Voltaheat and Voltacool Pain Relief range for fast heating and cooling you can feel.
Welcome to Sketches Motel. Checking in.
You might see some familiar faces during your stay. Sketchers Motel. Cheers. Where the world comes to play.
Britannia is a cursed land, ruled by the dead.
Well, that sounds scary, doesn't it?
The Romans are devils.
So what's the mission?
It's not obvious.
A child, stronger than kings, will lead us into the light.
We've just invaded hell.
Britannia. Stream all episodes now on SBS On Demand.
If football were a nation,
elle serait la plus grande du monde. Si el fútbol fuera un idioma,
تتردد صداها في كل ركن من أركان الأرض.
Não importa onde estejas.
No matter who you are.
Si te apasiona el fútbol, perteneces
to the biggest team on the planet.
El fútbol une el mundo.
Football unites the world.
My name is Anthony Gordine. I am the Regional Program Manager over at Soccer in the Streets. We decided to build soccer fields next to train stations to alleviate the transportation challenges. So made it easy for people just to get on the train or the bus and be able to get to the stations.
Come Schaefer, bring the boys over.
We're just looking to improve the lives of kids. So right now we serve 1,010 kids at the station.
2:50 game start.
We're in a generation where the phones and tablets and screens are how people interact. And without that face-to-face, you see there are missing pieces in those relationships or in just the development of kids. So for us to be able to offer that at the stations with Soccer in the Streets is, to me, something that you can't put a price on, you can't pay for it, you know. So Atlanta, to me, has shown that different communities, different race, religions, all of that can come to one space and coexist. So to be able to have everybody in one melting pot coming together to play soccer, to me, is incredible. What we see immediately is the families coming together, like whether it's from different stations, you see them talking, you see them having conversations, you see their kids hanging out together outside of the soccer field, and they become friends. They probably would have never met each other on the street. So we want to be able to have a central space for those communities to connect.
This program has given so much to me. I have 4 children, 3 of them which have been in this program at some point or the other. My oldest son is now 17, now he's coaching beside me, so it's come full circle.
We've seen them go from, oh, this is a great, nice organization for my kids to come out and play, to now they're like, we want competition. We want to play against other organizations. How can we have tournaments? Because they recognize that not only is it fun, but it gives the kids something to strive for. And they want the competition aspect, which is something that we didn't see coming.
I think it's a positive impact, in particular with the girls that I coach. I just try to encourage being confident in your own skin, being confident in your body. Anything the boys are doing, we're doing.
We want to create leaders in their community, so they build up confidence, they learn leadership skills, and then they take that to their communities when they're off the field and talking with their teachers and their friends. they can continue to foster that throughout their lives as they become adults.
Today was very stressful, but it was also exciting because we got to go against all the different teams, see who we were going against. And then having fun and hanging out with friends and going.
The World Cup, for me, it is the biggest sporting event in the world.
The American public is learning that now, how massive, how important, how serious some people really invest themselves into this game. It's a lifestyle for many, you know, they eat and breathe and live it.
And the kids are gonna get a chance to go there, so they're gonna get a chance to experience the excitement, watch the games, be a part of it, and hopefully go to the game. So that's gonna have a lasting impact, and they're gonna remember this forever.
All of us,
especially together,
are better. Not because we are the same,
but because we are all different.
I'm embarking on a journey like no other.
Explore the food, fun, and the fans behind the biggest spectacle there is.
We create an experience that you can't replicate.
Stream now on SBS On Demand.
Our health system is the sickest it's been.
What's happening right now is a crisis. I'm just about to step onto the hospital frontline.
I would love to see what they have to deal with.
I really want to get to the truth.
Can you open your eyes?
It can be busy, it can be exhausting, it can be sad, but it can give you purpose in life. You got this. Sorry.
The Hospital in the Deep End. Stream now on SBS On Demand.
Whatever happens, Rexona won't ever let you down.
Welcome to Skechers Motel. Checking in.
You might see some familiar faces during your stay. Skechers Motel. Cheers. Where the world comes to play.
At Carpet Call, we have the perfect window coverings for your home, whether it's made-to-order plantation shutters, curtains, or modern motorised blinds. Carpet Call, have your windows covered.
The experts in the trade.
The FIFA World Cup meal at Macca's is here. Score a free cup with 6 to collect.
These guys are monsters. They're unbeatable. Hang in tight for a good idea, Shorzy.
We formed the No-Show All-Stars.
The No-Show All-Stars?
Plus some other guys.
We're back, baby. You outscored opponents 71-9, but here come the No-Show North Stars. Woo! Do what you do best. You're gonna have to do it your absolute best if we're going to beat the Euros. How do we do that?
Kill some guys, score some goals.
Make sure they never forget who we are, boys.
Shorzy, stream free on SBS On Demand.
by Cabo Verde. In game one, they need a response here. Saudi Arabia arrived determined to make their own statement. Hot and humid outside again here in Atlanta, but step inside the stadium, it's a different world. Cool, crisp air conditioning, giving the players real comfort. And Atlanta has been alive with football. Crowds flooding Centennial Park here. Colour and noise from every corner of the world. City built on sport, from the Falcons to Atlanta United, and a home for Spain so far. But Group H has already shown its chaos, and Saudi Arabia arrive here, convinced they can unsettle Spain the same way Cabo Verde did. Well, the reigning European champions arrive here, still carrying the weight of the biggest shock of the opening round. 0-0 draw with Cabo Verde, a result nobody saw coming. Defined by a 40-year-old goalkeeper who's become a social media sensation. Spain dominated that game, 74% possession. They struck the frame of the goal, still couldn't find a way through. And now without a win in 4 World Cup matches, La Roja simply cannot afford another slip. Saudi Arabia, meanwhile, continue their rise in the global game. It is a nation that stunned the world in Qatar, beating eventual champions Argentina. One of the great World Cup upsets. And they've arrived here with that same belief. But the pressure is on this man's shoulders. And what of Lamine Yamal today? Can he make an impact against Georgios Donis' side? Their opening match saw them hold Uruguay, and now they're chasing history. As you can see there, each side starting with a point, which means nobody can go through, nobody's going home just yet. It will all come down to that final group game. A need for calm. That is the message from Luis de la Fuente today. On his birthday, he turns 65 today. And Jamie Watson alongside me, someone who scored at all levels of the game here in the United States. What changes here today?
Cabo Verde was the story and the feel-good story of match day one. The only side that wasn't feeling very good about it was the Spanish side, and Spain's inability to really, truly get in behind and threaten with any sort of verticality of Cabo Verde. So with that, Luis de la Fuente makes some changes to the lineup today, and the emphasis will be on more line-splitting passes, getting Oyarzabal involved in the game. He didn't get a touch in the first 30 minutes of that match. And if they can get the game's first goal, then it asks Saudi to have to break that low block and come out, expose them to be able to get more space in behind. Spain, it's about being clinical when they get in the box. They need a bit more urgency in the match than what they showed against Cabo Verde.
Now, they haven't scored in the last 49 attempts at a World Cup. And their top scorer in qualifying, Mikel Oyarzabal, you just mentioned, Jamie, he didn't even touch the ball for the first half an hour, incredibly.
And that's a big miss for Spain. They need Oyarzabal in and around the box, getting touches. From a statistical standpoint, Spain accomplished a lot. 27 shots versus Cabo Verde, 16 of those inside of the box. And on a different day, one of those go in. We're talking about a completely different story, but it didn't happen. And the longer this match goes without Spain scoring, the more that starts to creep into their mind and more motivation for the Saudis.
Oh, Saudi Arabia and their head coach.
All of us,
especially together,
are better. Not because we are the same,
but because
we are all different.
It's a winner no matter the full-time result, and it applies to same-game multis too.
Download the app and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365.
Imagine what you could be buying instead. For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.
Very first time. Only once have they reached the knockout rounds, and that was all the way back in 1994 when this wonderful country hosted the tournament. On this afternoon in Atlanta, I think it's fair to say that Saudi Arabia, they are sensing another moment.
The blueprint was laid out by Cabo Verde of how to frustrate Spain. You can concede the wide areas. And to be fair, Saudi did brilliantly dealing with the crosses from Uruguay. 47 crosses in that match. And albeit but one, they were exceptional being able to handle it. So if Spain gets stuck into that rut where they cannot find the creativity in the middle of the park, they've got to solve it with movement. And for the Saudi side, it's about making everything congested, being compact, and then breaking out in those transitional moments. Because unlike Cabo Verde, when Saudi Arabia get forward, they get forward quicker, they get more numbers, and they are far more clinical at finishing.
Another stellar crowd here at the Atlanta Stadium. At the Green Falcons, at the home of the Atlanta Falcons, as they look to soar high in Group H. The anticipation again at this high noon showdown. Game number 1001 in World Cup history after Tunisia and Japan hit that grand old milestone last night. Everything certainly still to play for in this group. Second in the world against a nation ranked outside the top 60. Saudi Arabia growing year on year. Certainly helped their domestic league influx of overseas talent. And improving the locals and the homegrown players. But here in Atlanta, they have the chance to twist the knife further, really, into the European champions. For many, Spain were favourites at the start to go all the way. Not winning here, unsinkable.
Every tournament has different forms of adversity, injuries, travel, conditions, setbacks in a result. For Spain, they faced their first test of adversity. The response within the first 5 to 10 minutes for Luis de la Fuente's side is going to be massively important to be able to get them back on the right track with that mentality that they are one of the best in the world and that they should and could be lifting that trophy on July 19th.
Spain and Saudi Arabia in Group H, a group that is completely wide open. All four teams sit on a single point, and today we find out whether Spain can finally rediscover their best, or whether Saudi Arabia take inspiration from Cabo Verde's heroics and plunge La Roja into even deeper, almost unthinkable struggle going into the final game of the group. This World Cup has already delivered some remarkable stories. And the Green Falcons have a history of unsettling the Giants. They arrive in Atlanta believing they can do it again. Another chance to shock a heavyweight. Another chance to write their own chapter on the biggest stage. As every player stands around the center circle, we get ready for the national anthems.
Of the national anthem of Spain. Standing if you're able for the playing of the national anthem of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia.
Spain against Saudi Arabia here in Atlanta is just moments away.
All of us,
especially together,
are better. Not because we are the same,
but because we are all different.
Okay, Evie, time to go home.
But Coach said...
Thanks, that was easy.
Practice makes perfect.
With UE Comprehensive Car Insurance, everyone on our team is on yours.
If you're Saudi Arabia, the longer this game goes at 0-0, then you get your opportunities on the break, and you've got to be clinical. You've got to have more thought in what you're doing when you get to the final third, which I do believe Saudi Arabia does. This will be a much stiffer test for Spain. We'll see if they've learned their lessons and if Saudi have figured out the blueprint that Cabo Verde laid out in match day 1.
So it's a very good afternoon to Rafael Klaus, who is our referee for this one. He took charge of the 2024 Copa America final. He's actually officiated in Saudi Arabia in the Super League this season, or this season gone. On video duty, and Nicolas Gallo from Colombia to keep a close eye on things. Well, some things just didn't work for Spain against Cabo Verde. So expected changes made by Luis de la Fuente. Pedro Porro coming into the back line in place of Marcos Llorente. But there's no Fabian Ruiz and Ferran Torres from the start. Gavi also. So the creative dynamo, there he is, Dani Olmo, Alex Baena also, and of course Lamine Yamal with his first start at this World Cup that was meant to belong to him. Spain have never lost in regulation time when he has started. In terms of Saudi Arabia, Yojos Donis changes too, but they have Mohamed Al-Owais in goal, who was a stopping machine against Argentina 4 years ago. Ali Najami and Nasser Al-Darsi preferred. Abdullah Al-Amri was their scorer against Uruguay in game 1. And Salim Al-Dazari's stunning winner against Argentina, living long in their history. Could he do it again? It's his 8th start at a World Cup, the 3rd most in Saudi Arabia World Cup history. Look out for Firas Al-Brikan, also their top scorer in qualifying. But Jamie, all eyes on this man right here.
Lamine Yamal, that's a name that's synonymous in world football, household name already at just 18 years young. Transformative player when he came onto the field. 19 minutes against Cabo Verde. He had more dribbles than Ferran Torres and Gavi combined. Lamine Yamal, this is the first World Cup of many, looking for the first goal of many. All eyes are on the 18-year-old, and boy, can he handle it.
So here we go then, another game where Spain are expected to win, but as we've seen at this World Cup, nothing is ever straightforward. Saudi Arabia arrive in Atlanta with a real bounce after their draw with Uruguay, ready to take advantage of a pressure-filled occasion for the reigning European champions. Here's Cucurella, and starting straight away, as you would expect, on the front foot here, Spain. Quick start will have been demanded, I'm sure. And now the first chance for Lamine Yamal to have a say on what goes on here. Oh, shrugging off one, away again. Lamine Yamal with a cross and almost a perfect contribution. Starting as they mean to go on, Jamie Watson.
Incredible strength and guile from Lamine Yamal. Just a glimpse of what's to come inside the first 30 seconds.
Well, breathless starts, and of course Lamine Yamal is heavily involved. There is Luis de la Fuente. Happy birthday, Luis de la Fuente. Spoken of his team's desire to put things right, how his players are fired up. The Lamine Yamal discussion was rife at his press conference yesterday. And look at the impact he's had.
He's already grabbed the attention of 2, even 3 defenders. That'll be key for Spain. If there's too much attention to Yamal, how quickly can they switch the play and try to find it through the other side?
We described him yesterday, Luis de la Fuente, intriguingly, as a genius like Dali and Michelangelo. Oh, the switcher play here, that's a fabulous pass. Might work out his. And an important block as it flies over the top for a corner. Alex Baena of Atletico Madrid. There is Yujos Donis, who has not had his feet under the table that long. But a promising point in the first game, but this is a different animal.
Number 14, Laporte on these. These are the moments where they try to find Laporte, get him open.
He goes short here. To Alex Baena. Lamine Yamal, a delicate one. Anyway, will do for Saudi Arabia. Are we expecting a lot of this? We saw it with Cabo Verde, didn't we? A lot of Spain ball, a lot of the opponent inside their own half.
Without a doubt, but I want to see Spain do it a little bit quicker than they did against Cabo Verde. If it's not on the one side, then you've got to go the other. You wait for the moment when Saudi Arabia do not shift over quickly, or somebody is lazy or late, and that's when you penetrate with the pass.
There's Pedro Porro. Tough season with Spurs in the Premier League. Lamine Yamal to be kept alive here and taken by Mohamed Alouez.
You talk about what makes a player special. At 18 years old, full of stars on this Spanish side, they want to get it to Lamine Yamal. We've got some of the world's best players, best midfield according to Luis de la Fuente. Yet those players quickly want to get it at the feet of Lamine Yamal and then watch him go to work. And if that is the case, then the Spanish players like Baena on the far side, Oyarzabal in the middle, need to make sure to put movement and options on to try to combine quickly or get on the end of a pass from Lamine Yamal.
Oh, he's on the ball now. Lamine Yamal. Well, it's going to be fascinating to see how many minutes he does play. Everybody was trying to get an answer out of Luis de la Fuente yesterday. Is he ready? How long is he going to play? Always sensed that he was going to start this one, coming back from that hamstring injury.
Yamal has looked lively and bright inside the first 4 minutes. All the little explosive movements that you're cautious about, the strength that he's shown, and the confidence to wait for the defender to get back up to beat him again the second time.
Becoming the youngest European player to appear in 2 major tournaments. A previous held by Jude Bellingham. That's Pedri. And Cucurella making one of those overlapping runs of his. Rodri. And Pedro Porro now. Just about avoided relegation with Spurs on the final day in the Premier League last season. Nice Baena for Pedri. Dani Olmo is the target for 2 club teammates of Barcelona. Mind you, all 4 teams starting on a point. Nothing will be decided today. Spain do have Uruguay to play, though. Saudi Arabia will face Cabo Verde in their final group games. Wonderfully open.
It just puts a little bit more pressure on Spain today. This match stays level and they split the points. Saudi Arabia would be the much happier of the 2 sides.
Lamine Yamal, Pedro Porro. He's kept it low this time. find Mikel Oyarzabal, didn't touch a ball inside the first 30 minutes of the game against Cabo Verde, incredibly.
So far, so good for Saudi Arabia. They're going to suffer at times, and they're okay with that. They've gone 5 in the back, 4 in the midfield, 1 up top, and Spain is having to make sure that they can try to figure out when the moment is to go forward, but Saudi Arabia has not given them anything so far to penetrate through centrally.
Pedri. Thanks, Baena. It's all pretty tight. Saudi Arabia get themselves out. Abrican. This is where they can get at Spain, though. This sort of area. Al-Abi. Spain tracking back in numbers. White shirts getting forward as well. Al-Azari and Abrican. But the touch on doesn't quite work out. But there's a warning sign.
And it was a 3-on-3 for Saudi Arabia. They've been on the back foot for most of the game. That's the moment they're waiting for. I'd like to see Al-Abdi just go 1v1. Try to be creative, decisive in that moment. See if you can beat your man and get the numbers advantage.
Saudi Arabia, they've only won 2 of the last 17 World Cup matches. 4 of the last 20. Pedro Porro for Lamine Yamal. So only as far as Pedri here. Marco Correa, a Real Madrid player. And on he goes again. Corner will be a close look to see who did get the final touch.
We're already starting to see the outside backs for Spain invert inside. And the 2 of the front 3, Baena on one side, Yamal on the other, stay a bit wider. It's slightly different than what we saw in match day 1.
So Rodri's in there, and Laporte is up, Al-Kabasi up from the back as well, although it's going to be towards Dani Olmo, who is capable of scoring spectacular goals. Would have been right up there. 24 goals, 17 assists, as you can see there, with Barcelona this season. Effective, although the injury towards the end of the season, certainly he felt as though it was an injury that could have had serious repercussions for his World Cup future here. There's one report suggesting that his injury has a 30% of relapsing as well.
It would have been ideal to not have to play Lamine Yamal in the first matchup, but he had to, needs must, with the scoreline. Today, Luis de la Fuente would love to get a goal or 2 cushion to be able to pull off Lamine Yamal as soon as possible, if and when this match ever feels comfortable.
Yeah, back home it has been built as his World Cup. He's the pin-up boy, really. Faces everywhere. Alex Baena's cross. Pedri again. Pedro Porro. Now Lamine Yamal. And Porro will hit it.
Already Porro has provided so much more offensively than what his counterpart Llorente did, who got to start it right back in match day 1. If Lamine Yamal is going to draw the attention of multiple defenders, then it's going to need to be the players around him that provide an option. This would have been something spectacular. Yep. Gets his body shape all wrong. But it's been an encouraging start for that man and his side 10 minutes in.
There's a couple of goals for Tottenham in the Champions League this season. And that right back role, no Dani Carvajal part of the Spain picture. There they come again. Lamine Yamal! There is his moment. He has arrived at the World Cup. This is his stage, and he's made the impact that Spain were craving in the first game.
Get used to hearing this. Lamine Yamal has scored in the World Cup. The weight of the world on the 18-year-old shoulders, and he delivers on the biggest stage. Wonderful transition. Al Amri steps, and he just leaves it thinking the line is there, but Saudi is dropped. Now this is a wonderful ball played across from Oyathabal, and Lamine Yamal sells out to get to the back post. All the questions about could he sprint at full speed with the hamstring injury are in that moment are answered. Arrives at the right time, like he's arrived on the biggest stage in this world. Calmly and confidently finishes it. And the reaction says it all. That man, he is a star.
Oh, this is his yard. And first goal of what he will hope will be the first of many here at this FIFA World Cup. Lamine Yamal. And we've seen Messi. And we've seen Harry Kane. We've seen Kylian Mbappe. The superstars turn up when it matters. And Lamine Yamal getting in on the act.
At the end of the day, he's still human. Might be superhuman, but he is a human, and you feel the emotions and the pressure. And for a goal scorer to get a goal 10 minutes into your first start of the World Cup will be the biggest sigh of relief. And now I expect to see even more confidence and bravado from the 18-year-old with the goal already in the back pocket.
Spain have ended a run of 294 minutes without a goal at the FIFA World Cup, and putting on a show in front of the FIFA president, Gianni Infantino. Oh, and it's been given away here. Lamine Yamal onto it quickly. And Pedri fires it over as it squirmed loose.
Brave goalkeeping from Alois. He has to commit to this. Baena is coming in at full force. A bit heavy on the pass. Lamine Yamal could have just played this a little bit more into the path. Alois does everything to come out, make himself as big as possible. What an important save that is. Good communication in the end to call off Oyathabal from Pedri. He just leans back at the wrong moment, gets the body shape incorrect.
"18 years, 343 days. He's only the second teenager to score for Spain at a FIFA World Cup. Gavi did so against Costa Rica. 4 years ago, that was. He's now also become the 30th different Spain player to score on their World Cup debut. And the first since Gavi did it against Costa Rica in Qatar. Dani Olmo. One of those injuries this season that he's had right behind him. He plays in that pocket. Kikurea. There they go again. It's constant from Spain. But here comes Saudi Arabia, and Albrecht comes through the middle. Just won't land at his feet as Rodri picks up the pieces.
Albrecht was in. It got to be a 1v1, and you actually saw Unai Simon just off your screen. He came charging out 10-15 yards outside of his 18-yard box, just anticipating the pass was going to get through. That was a real opportunity for Saudi Arabia.
Dani Olmo again. Here is Rodri. A lot of talk about Spain's midfield. Changes that have been made really click and work against Cabo Verde. It's not happening from Spain also.
So look at just the perfect ball played across. Any good young forward plays in a front three, or an outside midfielder knows you've just got to be able to get to the back post, and that's a prime example. Not the way you would have anticipated Lamine Yamal scoring his first goal. You'd imagine a step over, strike from distance, some skill, some guile. This goal was all about hard work and determination to get to the back post.
Spain are given the chance to start this one ahead of Gavi. He moved to Atletico Madrid after last season for some pretty good money. His career, he's played under some great top coaches, likes of Simeone and Unai Emery and Marcelino. Spain playing their way out of trouble here. Pedro Porro.
Poor hot Dani Olmo was just too slow with the decision making.
This is Aymeric Laporte. Return back to Athletic Club. Just some 7 years away. You've been playing in Saudi Arabia. Lamine Yamal, that's a teaser. Mohamed Olois holding on to it.
It's a good look at what Dani Olmo can bring. His ability to come from a deep lying position.
Oh, and Olois getting down well. Denying Goyazabal. They just simply can't get out here, Saudi Arabia.
This is the Spain that everybody anticipated in seeing in match day one. We're finally seeing it. Arrived to the party a little bit late, fashionably late, if you will. Maybe took a little bit of a siesta in the first match, but it has been full go from Spain from the get-go.
First quarter of an hour, 82% possession. Well, he would have known this, wouldn't he? Or just on he still have expected it. Was out by Barry. It's a switch on here for Saudi Arabia, perhaps.
There could be a delayed yellow coming back. That was a late challenge, I believe, from Baena.
Just to get the foot on the ball and take a bit of a breather. Saudi Arabia here, but passes going astray. Certainly not helping their course. Aymeric Laporte, great success with Manchester City. Oh, Goyazabal! There's nobody there. I was hoping that a late burst like Lamine Yamal provided for the goal. It might have happened again.
Already seeing more verticality from the Spanish side that we saw next to none of in match day one. Heads up play from Unai Simon to save that from going out for a corner kick.
Well, nobody will forget what happened against Cabo Verde. Suddenly what he has done to Cabo Verde. What it's done to Vazinia's social media pages. Extraordinary.
Just remarkable. And we saw a smaller version of that with Aloy Room from Curacao. Let's take a look again at Goyazabal just being more vertical in his approach today. That's a welcomed addition to the Spanish side that we just have not seen so far until today.
There's Goyazabal again. He's coming into this World Cup with a terrific record behind him for Spain. 10 goals in his last 10 caps. Top scorer in qualifying. This for Real Sociedad. The mixed